What is going on, guys? I am back with a fresh vlog. Got some good news and bad news, and we have a Q&A. But yeah, thank you to everyone that commented on the last video regarding the quality. It lets me know that, you know, you guys like the quality that I'm putting out. Fresh new GoPro, a super wide angle lens. I mean, you can, like, I just have to barely turn, you can see so much. It's got awesome, I guess it has some HDR capabilities, so the exposure isn't off outside of the windshield, and inside of the car it can get kind of dark. But you guys can see everything in here, and you guys can hear it clearly, so that's great. Let's see, let me pull my directions back up. So I'm heading to check out my car right now. It's at Street Approved Customs. They are a fairly new shop. The guy that works there knows what he's doing. He's been in the industry for a very long time. Does some really great quality work. Works on some really high-end cars. So I know my car is in good hands. It's been with them for about a week or so for now. I believe he's getting ready to spray it this weekend. Did some priming and blocking on the hood. So yeah, I mean, you guys already know, if you've been following my other channels, that I'm in the middle of doing a color change on my car completely. And I know a lot of people are like, oh, you know, what color are you going with? Are you gonna go with something crazy? Are you gonna do like a color shift? You know, a lot of people do color shift, and it looks pretty good. I'm just not a fan of, like, you know, the purples and the oranges and that's just not me. Like, I want to keep it clean. I don't want anything that like stands out too much. So for those of you that don't know already or haven't seen the live streams, I'm going with a it's called a Phaeton Black. So it is a black, it's going to be a black car with a custom mix of pearls from KP Pigments. It's going to have like some silvers, a little bit of teal. It's going to be really nice. It's going to be fairly almost OEM looking, but it's going to look really good. And if you're not familiar with Autoflex is like an automotive, it looks like automotive paint. So it's hard as paint. It's not soft. It's not your typical plasti dip that you get out of a can. So a lot of people, when I say, oh yeah, I'm dipping my car, they think, you know, I'm just gonna rattle can it, or it's just gonna be a spray dip that you see on most cars that are like matte finish. I'm not doing a matte finish. I'm doing the new stuff called Autoflex, and I've seen a lot of the cars on social media that come with Autoflex, and it looks like legit paint. You can actually wet sand and buff it as well, so that's really awesome. So let's see, what else was I gonna say? I'm heading to the shop right now. Julie is actually heading towards Bongsu's shop, which I'm gonna check back in a little later this evening. I'm gonna be stopping by the shop that my car is at and then heading to Bongsu's afterwards. And I know a couple people had some questions for Bongsu, so I'm gonna ask him those questions, and you guys had some questions for me, so I'm gonna start answering them very soon. So yeah, let's get started with that. Actually, we still got a little bit of a drive here. Let me pull up my account, and I looked over a couple of these questions. I'm gonna kind of fly off the handle here. Like, I didn't really prepare my answers, so I'm gonna go through each one of these questions one by one. Wayne G601 says, did you upgrade your oil pump and cam gears? So I did not. That is something that I'm still needing to get done. I have a couple people that can do it. It is on the horizon for this year. I want to get that done this year. What was my dream first car? So if I'm being completely honest, when I was in high school, obviously when you're in high school, you get your learner's permit, you know, want your first car. My dream, when you're in high school, your dream car, I guess for me at least, it wasn't anything super crazy like an Aston Martin or anything. I really wanted a late 90s Mitsubishi Eclipse, like a white one. GST GSX was really what I really wanted, and I loved Subarus back then too, so I really kind of wanted that Japanese turbo car. That was kind of one of my dream cars. Of course, Viper has always been one of my dream cars, like, as well. I still want to try to get one someday, Who knows? I mean, I love my Mustang, but if later down the road I can get like a 2015 Viper, that's definitely something I would look at doing. Will's Kona, who is my #1 hater? That's a real loaded question, because I know personally I do have a lot of people, or a decent handful of people that I know that dislike me for whatever reason. They could be a friend of my ex. I mean, they could, I think when it comes to people that don't like me or my car specifically, you got the hardcore drag racer types that don't like typically what's going on in the car community and outside of the drag racing scene, you know, the stance guys, which I can understand. They just don't like that sort of thing, so they naturally tend to dislike my car, right? You know, I'm not out there every weekend trying to chase a 1/4 mile time or a 60 foot. So in that aspect, they dislike my car because it's not built for that. It's not really intended for that. In regards to other types of haters, some people hate me because I run cheap headers on my car. You know, I've had some comments lately directed towards me that, you know, they call my car a piece of shit because I run cheaper headers. I don't have, you know, $1,100-$1,200 headers. And honestly, the whole reason, and this is kind of another vlog that I want to talk about, the whole reason I don't have $1,200 headers is because at the time I purchased these cheaper headers, I spent $7 grand on my supercharger. So the headers, the metal piping wasn't really high on my list of things to buy. You know, I wanted to dump all my money into my supercharger. So that's, and they weren't meant to last forever. Like, I thought they were going to be cheap. They were going to last maybe a year or two, and then I'd be replacing them. Well, I haven't had any problems with them, so I haven't had to replace them, so they're still on my car. SB Isaiah Johnson, what's going on with it right now or close future? I'm assuming you're talking about my car. What's going on with it? Doing a full color change, like I mentioned. That is kind of the big thing that I'm wanting to do for this year, is the AutoFlex color change. You know, I'm kind of bored with my car. Like, I want to have it look different, but it still be my car. You know, I'm not rushing to trade it in. I don't want to get rid of it. What are your thoughts on my BMW? One sick BMW. I love it, man. I obviously, when you painted your car black, and I'm painting mine AutoFlex black with a custom pearl in it. I love black cars, but the one thing is, with black cars, there's like a ceramic coating for AutoFlex that we're applying to protect the paint. So I think that's really good. Black cars are really, really hard to take care of. But at least with mine, hopefully, that ceramic coating will kind of protect it, at least, you know, for a couple of years, if I stick with it for that long. But your car is awesome, man. I think it's a really clean BMW. I love the red and black theme that you got going on. It looks really mean. Mercy Wilson, have you had a project car? Yes, I had a 1985 300ZX that I was really kind of big into. Not big, but I went to a few grassroots drifting events, and it had a welded diff. It was a Z31, nothing crazy, just basic bolt-on type stuff. It wasn't a turbo or anything, but you know, I took it out to a few drift events and had fun with it. That was kind of my project car, but my current car is kind of my project right now. J3 valve, when are you coming down to Mexico, New Mexico? Well, we passed through it when Julie moved out here, but I'm probably not going to be making my way out there anytime soon with my car, at least. Mark, it's a 3.7. How lame are V6 Mustangs? You know, the only V6 Mustang that I'm not a huge fan of is the 4-liter single overhead cam S197 ones. The 3.7s I know are pretty nice motors. I mean, if you take a look at Z's, they're the same displacements. I mean, they all sound very similar. The Z's and the 3.7 Mustangs sound very similar. I've got nothing against them, in all seriousness. Mark, I know you guys need to check out Mark. It's a 3.7 on Instagram. He's got a really fast one. I think he got his into the 10s recently, and he posted up time slips, so he's not one of those guys that, you know, fakes the funk, you know, with his dyno numbers and his drag stuff. You know, he's not doing it just for the Instagram, you know. He's actually out there doing shit with his car, so props to him. No Wolfie says, if you were to buy a Japanese car, what would it be? If I had unlimited amounts of money to buy a Japanese car, it would definitely 100% be an R34 Skyline. I am a huge R33, R34 fan. I love Supras, but there's just something about an R34. I am not by any means an R35 guy. I can respect them, but I don't like them. I don't like R35s that much. I think the last Skyline, in my opinion, was the R34. But I'm not going to get into that too deep. When you were a kid, were you into cars? And if so, what was your favorite car? Obviously, when I was growing up, you know, we went to book fairs and stuff, you know, through school. And the Lambos were always like... Lambo and Ferrari were always the cars that stuck out to me because you'd always get the posters at book fairs. But to be completely honest... I want to say when I really got into cars was during the Fast and the Furious, like when it first came out in high school, because it was just like all of a sudden at once, right? I'm getting my learner's permit. You know, I'm actually starting to take an interest in cars because I'm starting to drive, right? Getting my learner's permit was a huge thing in my life. And then maybe a year later or so, when I started driving on my own, is when the first Fast and the Furious came out. So that really got me into cars. Like, it got me more interested than I think I would have been before. So yeah, you know, I was interested in cars lightly growing up, but definitely when I got older, Fast and the Furious really kind of jumpstart my love for cars. And you know, a lot of people say, oh, that's stupid, you know, that's a pretty stupid movie, or they might not be a fan of it, but I think it kind of jump-started a lot of people. You know, I didn't grow up going with my dad to car shows and stuff. We never really did that. I mean, he had cars. He had a Thunderbird V8, and I remember riding in that, but it wasn't anything part of my family's culture. But I always kind of liked cars, and Fast and Furious kind of started that. Where did you get that shift knob? If you're talking about the green one, you can get it on eBay, and my girlfriend Julie bought that for me for Christmas. Nitrix V, is anything else going on Julie's Mustang? If so, what will it be? That'll be another vlog a little later. She doesn't really want to talk about what she's doing to her car just yet, just because this weekend we're getting what it is she's installing soon, and then we're going to be data logging it, and then we'll do a video on it. It's going to be a fun video. It's going to be an interesting video. So yeah, definitely stay tuned for that. Max, does automatic Mustang can also drift as a manual? I'm looking for my first Mustang and lost in drift thoughts. If you're wanting to drift your Mustang, no matter what year, I would highly suggest getting a manual. It's going to allow you a lot more control over what gear you are coming in on entry with, so definitely stick with a manual. Worst speeding ticket was in my WRX. I think I was going like 30 over. I got it lowered in court. Jacob Roberts asks, Brandon Bermudez, will you ever go turbo? Probably not. I don't know. I probably won't. I like my Pro Charger. It's been good for me. I might eventually upgrade, but who knows? Like, I might go with, you know, a VMP or a Roush later down the road, but no, I'm not wanting to go turbo on my car. So I think that kind of answers most of the questions. You know, I'm going to be vlogging a little bit more today. We're cutting it in. So I guess the next time I see you guys, I will probably be either at the body shop or at Bongsu's place. So, all right, guys, we are at Street Approved Customs, the body shop that's doing all the work on my car. Here's kind of some progress updates right now. Here is the actual bumper itself. What we're doing is we're cutting the grills off of the actual front itself. So that needs to be done. The damage you guys remember from the lip is getting repaired. So This is that Cervini's lip that I ran over something with. And then of course we took the spoiler off. The hood is over there. Let me see, I'll show you guys this. Here is the hood. So basically, for those of you that don't know, we're going to be auto flexing the car, which is kind of a peelable paint. So what he's got to do is he's got to paint the actual hood, the OEM color, let it cure, and then once it fully cures, he's basically going to be auto flexing over it. So it's going to be an OEM color first, and then cure, and then go there. So here is the car in its current state. We took the spoiler off. It's pretty dirty in here. We still got to take the roof wrap off. So that's coming off. That's going to be whatever color we auto flex it with. The color itself should be very close to this right here. This is going to be my color that I'm going with. It's going to be black with pearls in it. So you guys get an idea, a little sneak peek of what color I went with, and it should look just like that. It should look just like paint. But yeah, I get a decent amount of views. You're on my YouTube video. Say hi.
Look.
Wow, look at this. All right, we are at Bongsu's shop, and they just finished the wrap on the hood and the lip to kind of complete Julie's car. So you guys get a first-hand early look on this, and here's Denzel's car. If you can, what's Denzel's Instagram name? Hey, is that my old shift knob? I think that's my old shift knob. But yeah, it looks good. They came to do that today, and they are finishing up her dash wrap.
So it's gonna be beautiful.
I'll have to edit that out.
You didn't put that other piece back on in the car, did you?
Sorry, on there.
And screwed it?
Well, I just took the screw on. I didn't see it.
So if you guys are interested in getting something like this done and maybe possibly shipping your parts to Bongsu, what would you charge for somebody on Instagram or something if they ship you these parts to have you wrap it for them?
Well, it depends on what they want, really. If they want a custom design or if this is a single color,
Okay,
that's the main thing.
gotcha.
But support your local businesses. Just make sure you find a decent shop that'll do it for you, because there's some hacks out there.
Yeah, we were just talking about that. There's a lot of people that are trying to get into the rap game, but you probably want to spend the time to find somebody that's been doing it for a while, that knows what they're doing, or else you can run into a lot of issues. So
Not even the shops that have been doing it for all the bad jobs that come out of it.
yeah,
It's not because they don't have the skill, just because they're being lazy.
yeah.
What I've noticed.
Or they got so many jobs they're trying to do the quick, cheaper ones. Yeah. Get those in and out of the shop really quick.
Which, you know, as long as you have the people, personnel,
Yeah.
you can probably not kind of do it, but as a one-man person, I wouldn't try to do all of that.
Yeah.
Plus, I got my other business, my actual business I got to worry about.
Yeah. My car was all torn apart at today's shop. Looking real janky, trash car. But I think we're gonna be going back Saturday and finishing up, prepping it, cutting the grill, and then he's gonna do a few other things. We need to pull the wrap off Saturday, maybe on the roof. So
Did you see the interior piece?
I did not. Let's see.
How cool is that? It really pieces the car together now.
I really think you should do the cowl. Oh yeah. does look good.
I like it.
It looks really good. Yeah, I mean it matches. It matches well.
So once that other piece is in it, all close.
Yeah. All right. Well, I think that's it for now. I am going to log off right now. That is the end of the video. Leave a comment below if you guys have any questions on anything you've seen. And yeah, I'll try to get back to you as soon as possible. And I plan on getting another video out within the next week after this one to show you guys what the AutoFlex looks like on my car and the final product. So take it easy. Bye.